Well, 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 the time has finally come. I am finally making my Blu-ray Collection 2020 video. I was going to make it at the beginning of the year, but then some things were going on, and I'll explain what they were in a second. And I finally decided today, you know what? Enough waiting. I'll finally make the video. So I'll be going through every Blu-ray that I own on this shelf, and I'll be skimming through the rows just like I did with last year's video. I won't be, pulling out each individual title like I used to, because that would take too long and my arm would start to hurt. So that will be the format for the video. But of course, let me explain why I delayed it for so long. As pretty much all of you know, I've been buying 4K titles now. And my goal right now is to hopefully upgrade every title that I own to 4K if it has a 4K release. And so far, about 35% of the titles I own are now 4K releases, like ones that I've upgraded to. I still got quite a bit to go, but thankfully I am making progress. So that's why there's a bunch of empty spaces on here. It's because, once I get the 4K edition for that title, I'll put it on the shelf so that I don't have to scoot everything down whenever I get a new title. And there are some titles down here, but I won't be showing them. These are ones I'm planning to sell. Like for the Blu-rays, these are 4Ks I've already upgraded. Some DVDs and whatnot that my sister has given me. So I won't be showing those, but I will be showing what's on this shelf. And before I get started, I'll go ahead and show you my setup for my TVs and everything. So the TV I own in here is a 43-inch Samsung 4K TV, and the player that I use is actually underneath this towel. It's underneath the towel because this room can gather a lot of dust. It's a Panasonic DP-UB820. It plays 4K discs really good, and it upscales Blu-rays to 4K, and the upscaling for Blu-rays actually works really, really well. It makes them look really nice. And there's my Wii game and Wii U game shelf right there, but of course that won't be the focus of this video. And I do have some DVDs in here on the shelf as well. So, without further ado, here is my Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD collection for 2020. Let's get started. So let's get started. We're going to start at the top, actually. So at the top of the shelf, I have Stranger Things Seasons 1 and 2 on 4K. So let's go ahead and start with this one. Yeah, so I was not really planning on getting really any titles on 4K and just sticking the Blu-ray, but for some reason I just felt like I needed to get 4K. So that's really why I, decided to go to 4K, because I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. So, like I had mentioned, I'm about 35% of the way of upgrading all the titles I need, but a majority of the titles that I own do not have 4K releases. I don't know how much percentage total of my shelf do not have 4K releases, but I do know it's more than titles that do have 4K releases. So there you go. So that is the first row. Now we're moving on to the second row. I really wish I could have things to talk about, but I'll just let you go ahead and just skim through the titles. Like I said, I know there are a lot of gaps. Those are pretty much reserved for when I get the 4K editions of titles that were there. And I'll actually show there's a row near the bottom of the shelf of the titles I have not upgraded to yet. So hopefully I will be able to do that. Hopefully the end of the year, if not sometime next year. But it would be nice to be able to finally get those titles and complete the 4K upgrading. It's a pain, let me tell you. It's not easy at all. Because of course right now with this whole quarantine going on, I've been away from work. I haven't worked since mid-March, I think. So fortunately money's a little low, but I am trying my best to be able to, buy what I need. There's that Matrix Trilogy box set there. Oops. Shelf was getting in the way. There we go. Alrighty, moving on to the fourth row. And I forgot to mention too, when I show the row of titles that I still have to upgrade to for 4K, they actually aren't everything. There are some titles that I have given away to, you know, my dad, my sister, or ones that I've sold. So the titles that you see aren't everything. Those are just ones that I have not sold yet or give away to any of my family members. So there's that Planet of the Apes trilogy right there. And I was lucky enough to finally get that Predator set as well. And I do like the design of that RoboCop Arrow release. I think that's really cool. It's a bulky box set, but it's pretty nice. And there actually are some titles on the regular shelf. Oops, I think that's this. Alright. Sorry, the shelf was getting in the way. Alright, here we go. Next row. There are some titles on here, like I think Blues Brothers is still on there. That's getting a 4K release. Same thing for Goonies. Now I have to explain myself for this. These are actually Harmy's Despecialized Edition Blu-rays. These are HD recreations or restorations of the original Star Wars trilogy in their original forms. So there's Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. I am very happy to have these. I actually watched Star Wars about a month ago. I'm probably going to be watching Empire Strikes Back for May 4th for Star Wars Day. So that's going to be fun. But I am really glad to have those. And I put the discs for the Stranger Things seasons in cases because I felt like those box sets were not really handling the discs the best way. So I figured putting them in cases like that were probably a better solution. Because I'm the kind of person where if I see like one scratch or something on a Blu-ray disc, I go crazy. Especially a couple of the movies I own have scratches what are like, I guess, called invisible scratches, where if you hold the light up or the disc up to the light a certain way, you can see the scratch, and then if you hold it another way, it's gone. So yeah, I'm very OCD and paranoid about that kind of stuff. And I did hear about the Wizard finally getting a, I think, Shout or Scream Factory release, so I will definitely be getting that soon. Alright, so we've reached the end for the actual movies, the regular movies. Now here's the Criterions. And then here are the movies that I still have yet to upgrade to. I decided to separate them because I just found it easier for me to be able to pick them out once I buy the 4K edition. But hopefully I will be able to sell the ones that I upgrade, so then I can finally, you know, not have those anymore, so that I can just stick with the 4K issues and not have to worry anymore about having to sell them. But we'll see. Hopefully I'll find some lucky buyers on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. And then the final sections are basically TV shows or movie series. So there's Batman, there's Shrek, Pee-wee, James Bond. Of course, this is there's two Bonds here. This is every Bond movie. It's very dusty up there. From Dr. No all the way to Spectre. The only Bond movies on 4K right now are the Daniel Craig ones. So I do have that. So I have basically the Daniel Craig films twice. And then the Star Wars documentaries, these actually came as bonuses with the despecialized editions. There's documentaries for Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And the documentaries on this disc are actually documentaries based off all three movies, like, at once. I was gonna get a disc for just the 1977 Star Wars, but it didn't come with that. So I looked at what documentaries were on that disc and put them on a SD card. So that way I can have them all. So, and then there's some Fast and Furious titles. That's a DVD, that History of Rock thing. There's one Harry Potter, and then there's all the Big Bangs, Young Sheldon, and Bates Motel. I still have not gotten the last season yet of Big Bang Theory, but hopefully soon I will. And these are DVDs. And then the only other Blu-rays left on the shelf are the seasons 5 through 9 of The Office. So, there you go. That is it for my Blu-ray collection and 4K Ultra HD collection for 2020. Yeah, so I apologize that it took so long because, again, I'm currently in the middle of upgrading and everything, but because I've gotten several questions of people asking me when I'm going to make it, I figured, why not make it now so that they can stop asking and I can give them what they want, and we'll see how long it takes to upgrade, and then you'll see, hopefully, everything by now in the 2021 Blu-ray collection video. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more content, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.